The first Diddy party I went to was at Prince's house. So you want to go to Prince's house to the Diddy party where Tyrese is performing and Demi Moore and Ashton Kutcher are swinging on swings. That is what's happening on the other side of the wall. And so the one thing that makes this party different than a Jamie Foxx party or any other celebrity party that wrangles a bunch of young women or guys or whatever too, is that Diddy didn't let you bring your security in the party.
Honey, the fact that names are being dropped left and right in Diddy's trial is already wild. But Prince showing up on that list, that's the last thing anyone saw coming. Sure, we've heard the tea from Jason Lee about Diddy throwing some of his craziest parties at Prince's place, but things are starting to look way deeper than just a borrowed mansion. Now here's where it gets juicy. What if Prince had cameras rolling during those wild nights? We all know he was super private, always 10 steps ahead and never let his guard down. He wasn't showing up to those parties for a reason. And now people are wondering if he was low-key recording everything from behind the scenes. Some are even saying he might have kept that footage stashed away or passed it to someone before he died. And guess what? The buzz is getting louder that his name might actually come up in court. Phew, this trial, it's already looking like the kind that's gonna shake the industry for years to come. And baby, every single twist is messier than the last. So far, jury selection has brought some unexpected surprises. Nobody thought we'd hear names like Michelle Williams, Robert Downey Jr., Mike Myers, or even Lauren London pop up. But here we are. Now, some names? We knew they'd come up eventually, like Cassie. She was the first to take legal action, and her lawsuit was explosive from the jump.
Did he have health problems?
That I don't know, right? What I know is that he was really health conscious. He was a vegan. He didn't abuse alcohol. I didn't know of him abusing drugs. He worked out, so, that also really concerned me because it made me think that, wow, so you mean you do all these things to take care of yourself and you die so young?
She claimed that everything that went down between her and Diddy wasn't just behind closed doors. According to her, plenty of people from his inner circle saw it all. Bad boy staff, personal assistants, folks tied to his businesses. Yet not one of them spoke out. Even worse, Cassie said those very same assistants were the ones ordered to deliver gifts to her after a DV situation, trying to cover things up. But it doesn't stop there. She even claimed those assistants were the ones who'd set up the so-called freak-offs, booking hotel suites, laying out baby oil and Astroglide, getting everything ready for whatever twisted setup was planned. And they just went along with it like it was part of the job. Cassie didn't hold anything back in her lawsuit. She even revealed that after one brutal incident, both Diddy's head of security and his assistant saw her condition and broke down crying. That's how bad it was. So don't be surprised if a bunch of Diddy's staff gets dragged into court to testify. It's looking like a full-on cleanup is coming. And guess who else popped up? Harve Pierre. He was already named in another lawsuit filed by a Jane Doe, and he still made the cut during this trial process. Jane Doe claimed that Harve convinced her to fly out from Detroit to New Jersey, where she was allegedly assaulted by both Harve and Diddy. Yeah, it's getting that dark. Then there's young Miami. She's been tied to Diddy for a while, and according to whispers, she was on his payroll and may have even been moving substances for him. Her name came up during jury talks too. Another one to watch? Dallas Austin. He's best known as a music producer, but what links him to this case is that he was a childhood friend of Kim Porter, Diddy's late ex and the mother of his children. Now folks are side-eyeing that connection hard, especially with all the old rumors surrounding Kim's sudden death. And don't forget Lorianne Gibson. Back in 2007, she filed a police report claiming Diddy picked up a chair and threatened her while filming Making the Band. That incident is making the rounds again, and it's not looking good. Aubrey O'Day's name came up too, and let's be real, that's no surprise. She's been one of the loudest voices backing Cassie ever since the allegations dropped. Aubrey didn't just support Cassie. She also came forward with claims of her own, saying Diddy made inappropriate moves on her during her time in his camp. Then there's Dawn Richard, another former Donity Kane member, who's got her own history with Diddy. She filed a lawsuit accusing him of serious misconduct. According to her, it all started while filming Making the Band. She said Diddy would constantly throw degrading insults at the women on the show. But things didn't stop at words. The suit claimed he pushed Dawn to rehearse for hours with no sleep. And in that vulnerable state, he took advantage of her. And it gets worse. Dawn also said she personally saw Diddy get physical with Cassie while he was high. That kind of first-hand account could shake the courtroom. Michael B. Jordan's name was mentioned too, not because he did anything wrong, but because of a flirty moment with Cassie back in 2015. The prosecution is reportedly keeping tabs on all of Cassie's past relationships. Why? Because there's already buzz about Kid Cudi. His car was blown up, and folks say it happened after Diddy found out he was talking to Cassie. That's not just petty, that's dangerous. Cassie revealed that she had a brief fling with Kid Cudi back in 2011, during what she called a rough patch in her relationship with Diddy. But when she and Diddy got back together, he somehow found old emails between her and Cudi, and that's when things reportedly took a dark turn. According to the lawsuit, Diddy got furious, and not just emotionally. The suit claims he actually wanted to make sure Cudi was home with a friend when his car exploded in his driveway. And sure enough, Kid Cudi's car did blow up right outside his house. That's not a rumor, that happened. It's wild to think how far this case might go and how many more names we're about to hear in court. But let's circle back to that shocker, Prince. Nobody expected to hear his name in the middle of all this. And now, with whispers that he might have had tapes of Diddy, it's got people straight up questioning whether this could be tied to Prince's death. Could he have known something he wasn't supposed to? Could that be the real story behind what happened? What we do know is that Prince seemed to sense the end. Days before he passed, he posted a now-deleted photo with the caption, "Just when you thought you were safe." And during what would be his final party at Paisley Park, he reportedly told guests, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." What did he know? Just like he warned, Prince was found dead at 57, unresponsive at his Minnesota estate. Official reports claimed it was an accidental fentanyl overdose, saying he unknowingly took fake Vicodin laced with the deadly synthetic opioid. But come on, that never sat right with anyone. Prince, the same Prince who was all about clean living, health, and discipline? Something's off. People have been asking, was he even sick? Did he have any major health issues we didn't know about? Here's what we do know. Prince didn't back down from anyone. He spent years fighting powerful companies over control of his music and ownership of his legacy. He wasn't just an artist. He was a rebel with a cause, going head-to-head with anyone who tried to mess with his rights or his money. Labels, corporations, streaming platforms, he called them all out. And now, some believe that fight cost him everything. Some even say he didn't just die, he was silenced. Could that have been the real reason behind his sudden, mysterious death? Whether or not Warner Brothers had any real hand in what happened to Prince is still being debated. But trust, a lot of his fans are convinced they weren't innocent. Let's break it down. Prince signed with Warner Music back in 1977 when he was just 18 years old. His early albums from 78 to 81 didn't exactly top the charts, but Warner kept him anyway. Why? Because he was a rare kind of talent, and having him on their roster made them look good, like a label that backed real musicians for the long haul. Then 1982 hit. Just 1 year after MTV launched, Prince dropped more music, and boom, he cracked the US top 10 for the first time. But it wasn't just the sound, it was the visuals. Prince knew exactly how to use music videos to build a whole identity. He didn't just release songs, he crafted a myth around himself. The style, the mystery, the vibe. People started dressing like him, moving like him. He became a full-on icon. By 1984, with Purple Rain, Prince had taken over pop culture. He was the most electrifying artist on the planet, hands down. But behind all the fame, trouble was brewing. Prince started to hate the fact that Warner owned everything. His name, his music, his entire legacy. He wasn't free. And that control, that's what pushed him into a long, bitter war with the label that once helped make him a star. Prince didn't just fight back. He made a statement. He famously ditched his name and started going by a symbol. Yeah, that symbol. People called him the artist formerly known as Prince, or just the Symbol. And he used that move to call out exactly what was going on behind closed doors. He was loud about it too. Prince wasn't scared to shine a light on how the industry was controlling artists and bleeding them dry. But here's where it gets extra messy. Diddy? He was making deals with the very same power players Prince was calling out. Diddy and Warner Music Group actually locked in a major joint venture. This wasn't just a handshake. Warner got a whole 50% stake in Diddy's Bad Boy Records. That's half the label. Under this deal, Warner handled everything from marketing to digital and physical distribution of Bad Boy's music around the entire world. That means they were controlling current and past artists under Diddy's label too. And Diddy? He was proud of it. When talking about the deal, he said, "There have been a lot of boutique record labels that come and go, and we're still here. This has ensured for the next couple of years that we'd have the right financial backing, the right financial structure, the right partners to remain a force in the music industry." So while Prince was trying to break the system, Diddy was out here locking arms with it. There's also been a lot of talk that Prince knew exactly what kind of wild freak-offs Diddy was hosting, and he made sure to stay as far away as possible. Remember what Jason Lee said? The first Diddy party he ever went to was at Prince's house. But what really caught his attention? Nobody was allowed to bring their own security. That's already a major red flag. So yeah, Prince let Diddy throw those notorious parties at his place. That much we know. But here's where things get real interesting. What if Prince had the whole place under surveillance? We're talking about Prince. The man was meticulous, secretive, and always in control of his space. What if the cameras were rolling during those parties the entire time? And what if he kept those tapes? Or better yet, what if he gave them to someone he trusted before he passed? Now that whispers are starting to build that his name could come up in court, you really have to wonder, did Prince know too much? Could he have been sitting on evidence that's only now starting to come to light? The timing, the mystery, it's all too wild to ignore. Maybe the purple one knew way more than he ever let on, and maybe, just maybe, that knowledge cost him his life. Before Prince passed, his sister Tyka Nelson revealed something chilling. She said Prince told her he was in trouble just days before he died. That one sentence hits different when you look at everything that's surfacing now. A lot of people believed Prince and Tyka weren't close. But the truth? They actually had a strong bond. In 2018, Tyka opened up about how tight they were growing up. Their parents even told Prince he had to look after her. And wherever he went, she had to go too. That's real family loyalty. Tyka also shared something personal. When she was struggling with substance issues, it was Prince who stepped in to save her. She said that when she reached out, he didn't hesitate. He just said, "Okay, when and where?" and helped get her into rehab. That kind of love runs deep. And here's the part that really shakes you. Tyka said Prince knew the end was near. Not only did he feel it coming, but he spent 2 full years preparing her for it. 2 years. That's not coincidence. That sounds like a man who saw the storm coming and did everything he could to protect the people he loved before it hit. In her interview with the Minnesota Star-Tribune, Tyka talked about stepping away from performing and working on a memoir. But what really stood out was her memory of the last conversation she had with Prince, just 4 days before he died. She said he kept dodging her questions. She'd press him, asking for real answers, and he'd change the subject, crack a joke, and they'd end up laughing like nothing was wrong. But deep down, she knew something wasn't right. "I asked him, 'How are you really?'" Tyka said. But he never opened up, not fully. He knew she was worried. He knew she felt something was off. But whatever was weighing on him, he kept it to himself. That's all he wanted her to know. So here's what we do know. Prince had a lot going on in those final days. Whether it had anything to do with Diddy or not, that's still up in the air. Could he have been tied into something bigger? Could his name really come up in court as more details unravel? We don't have all the answers yet. But one thing's for sure, the mystery around Prince's death is far from over. And if the rumors are true about him having recordings of Diddy, that could change everything. What do you think? Could Prince have been sitting on something the world wasn't ready for? Let's talk about it.